It's the flip man. You got some money in your hand. Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Drag. It's the flip man. You got some money in your hand. Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Drag. It's the flip man. You got some money in your hand. Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Drag. It's the flip man. You got some money in your hand. Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Drag.
What up, guys? Show number 121. It's Ty K, the Flip Man, and I'm alone. As of right now, AP should be coming. Adria, Renikia won't be here tonight, but we will proceed on to hopefully get you guys going and getting your questions answered. So, while I'm getting everything here going, just make sure that you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and even TikTok now. Obviously, you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're here. Make sure you tap the little bell so you are alerted whenever I go live on YouTube and whenever we post new videos of new content. So go ahead and get in here over in the chat room here and just look at what we got. Everybody speaking to each other. So we'll try to see if we have any questions in here. We have Isaiah, Trophy Property Buyers, Brandon Sample, We Buy Houses, Twin Cities, Frost Snow, Chris Graphics, Talia Marie, I think I'm saying that correctly, Derek Bailey, Isabel Phillips, Sundale Curtis, Brandon Sample again, Realtor Ebony, Bridget Airfor. Got some folks in here. So let me see if we got any questions, no comments. Boom. So we got Instagram Live also. So we're live on Instagram, Periscope, both Facebook, the group, and Flipman page. Join both of those, the Flipman Wholesaling Real Estate with the Flipman group. Got a lot of good people in there helping each other. So dive into that also. All right. Let's see who we have here first. It's a Facebook user. Name doesn't come up, but that's fine. The question is, does your one-page contract work with, uh, I guess, between you and the seller and between you and the buyer? Yeah, you can use the contract for both sellers and buyers. Sometimes your buyer may not want to use the one-page contract that I make available to you guys, but that's going to be up to you as long as the terms match. As long as the terms match your terms, and then alter your deal with the seller, then it's okay to use their one-page actual contract. All right. See if I can find another one here. The follow-up question, then, can it be used for a double close? Yes, it can be used for a double close. All right, Patrick out of Oregon said, if I'm looking for a testimonial out of Oregon, I have one now. Yeah, just hit me up, Patrick. Just text me. My number will be here on the screen here in a moment. All right. All right, Ralph. Ralph says, has anyone heard of or used the site Home Advisor for estimated repairs, and what do you think about it? No, I haven't personally checked it out, so I couldn't give an opinion on that at the moment. All right. See what else we got here. All right. We Buy Houses, Twin Cities says, does a decline in market affect wholesaling? Yes, it can, but as long as houses are not free and there are transactions going on, buying and selling, there will be opportunities for you to make money wholesaling. So to answer your question, it will affect it, but you can just adjust to the what's going on right there. You can still find great deals. You'll still have cash buyers out there wanting those great deals. You just have to adjust to what's happening with the market now. That boy OJ, that boy OJ from Birmingham is in the house. All right. All right. We have Jig Mo. Jig Mo says, let me see here. Said, what's your philosophy on, I guess, on doing a purchase and sales as opposed to assignment contract? Well, for me, the way I was taught it and the way I teach it, both work. If you just want to do an assignment between you and the buyer, both work. But the way I was taught and the way I teach it is, if you do an assignment contract, then that means you're off the top, your assignment fee is exposed, which means they're now going to negotiate your assignment fee, knowing exactly what you're trying to make. But if you do a contract A with the seller, contract B with the buyer, or A, B, and C, D, however you want to term it, then they don't know what you have it on the contract with the seller for, right? So you could have it under contract for $1, and we'll just say a $200,000 property. You got it under and you're putting it out there for $100,000. You may have a contract for $1. So they're going to negotiate based on what price works for them, not determining what they think is a fair amount for you to pay to receive as an assignment fee. Now they can eventually find out what it is. That's fine or whatever, and but I'm not going to deal with buyers that are going to trip about my assignment fee. It's about relationships and having buyers that want to buy from you over and over again. You're going to have some people that will trip about your assignment fee, but most don't. They understand, or they will view you as an actual asset. So, so just understand that it's you could do both. It's just how I teach it, and how I was taught is you negotiate prices versus actual assignment fees, which is the same thing at the end of the day. But knowingly negotiating your assignment fee can be different. All right, so let me see what else we got here. All right. What's the title when they said any thoughts? All right. Brandon Sample says, I went to a title company and they said transactional funding was illegal in Pennsylvania. Any thoughts? Well, I could go to, if I just pick out a random title company here in Alabama, depending on where I'm going, who am I speaking with, they'll tell you that. One of my first mistakes, I have a video, probably my second most popular video is the 5 mistakes newbies should avoid when starting out as wholesaling. I'm not sure why you're reaching out to them about transactional funding, but one of the worst things you can do is try to reach out to title companies and say, hey, I want to start wholesaling or whatever, blah, blah. You never know who you're going to deal with. They may have never done a transaction like that. But the main reason is that your buyer is going to dictate who and where you close, because they're the one with the money. The one with all the gold makes sense. So why, you can do that, but I'm just telling you, you're probably wasting your time. Because you can go through all that and you find a title come say that they'll do all that and the buyer may not want to use them. It's that simple. So just wait until you have a seller on the contract, a buyer on the contract, find out where they want to close. You can then close with that individual. He may tell you, say, where it doesn't matter. Then you go out and try to find an actual buyer, a title company or closing attorney to close the deal for you. But trust me, if you have an actual deal on the table where they're going to know they're going to get paid, the response and the reaction of how they deal with you would be totally different. And if one says no, you go to another one. But the main thing is don't even worry about that, in my opinion, until you actually have a buyer on the contract and a seller on the contract. So just my 2 cents on it. All right. Let me see. What contract to use? All right, let me see here, guys. So I'm by myself, so I have to read these before I post them. So, all right, sure. All right, Malik Kentlin says, when doing a joint venture, what contract do I use to get paid? Well, I'm going to use a purchase and sales agreement whenever I'm doing joint ventures in most cases, meaning that I'm going to have a contract with the seller. I'm going to have a contract. Well, let me see, depends on what side I'm on. But assuming I'm in contract with the seller and someone's going to bring a buyer to me, it's really not like we're doing a joint venture. Either we're going to agree on a price or what I have it on the contract for, and we just split it, or I give them a price and whatever they make above that. But I'm going to treat them just like a buyer because I'm going to use a purchase and sales agreement. That ensures people get paid. That joint venture contract stuff, you can get paid on it, but it's really not anything that probably is going to hold up because you're now acting. Trust me, you want to have purchase and sales agreements in place no matter what level you're on whether you're dealing with the seller, you're another wholesaler, co-wholesaling. That's what I do. So again, The other stuff that obviously works. I'm just telling you, you could easily more so get cut out of the deal if you don't have a purchase and sales agreement in place. So my 2 cents on that. All right, let me go down to the bottom here and then I'll come back up. Try to skip around. Let me make sure I'm getting some Facebook stuff in here. Where's my man at? Just okay. This needs to be focused. All right. Let me see. All right, Jay Miles from Facebook. I'm gonna get some questions from Instagram. So if you posted some questions, just repost them, and I'll get to you. Jay Miles says, I found a property, but it seems to be foreclosure. How do I approach this situation? If it's an actual foreclosure, meaning the bank is actually, taking the property back, then if it's not listed for sale, you have to basically wait until it is listed for sale by an agent. As far as the wholesale game, those are more difficult to wholesale for a number of reasons. But to answer your question, really nothing you can do until they put it back out there for sale. I'm assuming that's what you're asking. All right. Let me go back up. Appreciate you guys' patience. I'm doing this alone, so you know how that's gonna go. All right, here's a question from Michael Coleman. Flipman, how can you find leads if you can't drive for dollars? Or I'm assuming you mean you don't have transportation or whatever your situation may be. That's not the only way you find deals. As a matter of fact, it's one of the harder ways to find deals in reality. Um, you're going to need a couple $100. All right. If it sounds like you're having trouble with transportation, I'm assuming maybe something else, but that's what I'm assuming. Then you may want to go and try to do some cold calling. Buy a list, get a skip trace, and start doing some cold calling. Then you don't have to leave the house as far as generating the lead. Now, when it comes time to viewing the property and so on, you will need some transportation or someone acting on your behalf or whatever. So that'll just that'll be the one thing that you can actually do. So it's cold. That's what I would recommend. All right, so let me go back to the bottom here. Try to get a Facebook. All right. Amy Yuckelbaum. Amy, I sort of just answered that one on how you prevent from getting cut out on a deal with a JV deal. Just do purchase and sales agreements, in the chain of the deal. Just do purchase and sales agreement that pretty much ensures you're not going to get cut out. All right. Let me go back up here. Again, I appreciate everyone's patience. I'm solo tonight, and you know how difficult that can be. All right. All right. Omar, not sure about the last name, but I answered that question earlier. Yes, you can use both my one-page contract for sellers and buyers. Sometimes the buyers may want to use someone else, but as long as the terms doesn't conflict with your terms of my agreement on the seller side, then yeah, you can use a different contract with the buyer side. But on the seller side, you want to control it, so you want to use your contract, whether it's mine or whatever version you're going to use. So that's what I would recommend. All right, so let me go back down here. All right. All right. Apple Pie, interesting name. I like that. Apple Pie says that. Let me see here what I want to put up here. I'll put that one. Says, my name is April. Okay. What's going on, April? Can you recommend a title company that does remote closings? Well, now you're talking about what market are you trying to do the closings in? Some will do that. You just have to simply ask them, will they do it? I'm not sure what you need to explain why you need for that to happen. And maybe I can answer that a little bit better for you. Okay, so let me go back up here. Glad everyone that has joined tonight. Got people all over the place. My man say flip man for president 2020. Ooh, we would be in a mess. First 200 business. Okay, hold on, let me. All right. Trying to find one I had an answer. Can I please? Okay. Let me see. Okay, let me just ask this one right here. All right. From Darius King. Can a place say for sale by owner sign in the yard of a property I have under contract? Some situations will present themselves where you can do that. Some sellers won't care. It may even be a situation where the seller's out of town and they just don't know or whatever. So you're just gonna have to play that by ear. Technically, no, you shouldn't. So you're just gonna have to play that case by case on that. But what you can do is put signs out in the area where the property exists, and people that buy in that area, investors that buy in that area, they know a great deal when they see it as far as price, and they will call you. Now, you will also get calls on people asking you, hey, will you rent the property, or do you have any rental properties? You have people that ask you, will you do some owner financing? You will even have people calling you saying, hey, do you need someone to cut the grass or paint the property or blah, blah, blah. So, just be prepared for all of the above or whatever. So let me try to text AP. See if she's close. She is close. All right. All right. So that was from Darius King. Let me see. Isabella, I'll throw this up right quick. Best place to get cold call leads. Well, it just depends on what you're trying to do as far as who you're going to target. I'll just show you since I'm here. Let me pull this up in just a second. I'm putting the wrong thing up. Let me see. So I'll just take you through what I do. Since I'm solo here, I can do a little training here or whatever. So let me share my old screen here. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Chrome tab. Okay. So I'm sharing this screen here. Let me do it this way. Let me take this down and take this down. All right. Let me do it another way. Hold on. Let me do it another way here. So. Okay. Okay. I need to do the Chrome tab. Okay. All right. So what I'm showing you here is Digulator, aka prop stream, and she basically asking how do you build list. Um, uh, anyway, so let me see here. So first you have to choose what you want to target, what area you want to actually target. So let's target. I think it's Riverside County, California. My boy Chris stomping ground. Okay, so that's going to take a money for that to load, which we don't have to wait on that to load. So what you do is you've chosen the county that you want to target. All right. And there are a lot of lists that you can build here, but I'm just telling you what I do. You don't have to do it this way. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go, is it owner occupied? No. That means they own the property, but they don't live there. Now, as you can see here, you have different options here as far as quick list choice. You have on market, vacant, liens, pre-foreclosure, auctions, bank owned, cash buyers, high equity, free and clear, bankruptcy, divorce, tax delinquent, flippers, failed listings, which they recently updated the platform here. So I'm going to go with free and clear. All right. I don't care if it's vacant or not. You can put it in there, but that's basically what we just did up here. But it could be rental. All right, so property characteristics, we're targeting residential, which would be houses, and you want to do property type. So you can do single family, you can do condos, you can do 2 to 4 units, you can do multifamily, 5 to plus units. And I'm going to do some videos on these new updates, especially on the multifamily side of it, because it's really gotten detailed and can allow you to really target and hone in on some multifamily opportunities. Just a couple of things I would show you as far as some techniques or some stuff that I figured out here. All right, don't worry about the beds and baths. So characteristics were good. So MLS status, I want it to be off market. So no, not on market, but off market. So not on the market. So that's the only thing I worry about there. I'm not really getting into the pre-foreclosure stuff. If it comes on the radar, it just does. So you go to ownership info, and then individual instead of corporate or mixed or trust, which you can do trust if you want to. That's what you want to target. Then I want them to have owned it, especially there's a lot of people out there. A lot of times I'll just do 1 year of ownership, but out here I'll do 3 years of ownership, right? And then boom, so I close this and it pulls up over 32,000 options there. Now that's a lot, and so you wouldn't want to build a list that large because you're only probably shooting for 2 or 3,000. All right, so what I can do is I can go back to ownership info and do they've owned it for, I can say 10 years, 10 years or more. Where is it? So 10 years or more. Let's see how many it reduces it down to. Now it reduces it down to 14,517. That leaves a ton of equity. You could spend the entire year working that list. Now, you wouldn't probably download it all at once, but what you would do is, so once you have that, and not to get into just all of this because we can get too detailed technical wise, but you go here and you hit filter. Say you want to download 1,000 of these, so it'll be 1 to 1,000, right? Once you have that, then you go ahead and add to list. So you can name it whatever, a new list if you wanted to. And you can just put in here, just do the space and today's date, 5th, 19, SFR, Riverside, California, and then hit save. It may take it a second to save, but hit save. And then once you actually save it, so it's saved. All right. So now what you would do, you would go back over here to properties and under marketing list. And let me see if I find it. So there it is right there. Take it a second to populate. Let me make sure. Okay. So boom, there it is. So you have the entire list. Okay, so the next thing you would do is select all 1,000, and then you'll want to export. So once you export the list, or you can use the skip tracing option here in the actual software here to pull the phone numbers. So boom, from there you start to make your calls. So hopefully that made sense. So I'll stop sharing. All right. And so now we have a lot of questions probably from that, but that was just the answers. I forgot who question I was even answering there, but it was Isabella's question. So boom, Isabella. So hopefully that helps. All right, so let me go see if I can find something else. We have one from okay, Tawanda. Tawanda on Facebook says, yes, I'm learning that system through you and we love it. Very informative. Thank you very much, Tawanda. Thank you very, very much. All right. Let me see. Adria says she was close. Okay. And so says 3% of my field. I'm not sure. How does the agent get paid from listening agreement? Okay, this is a good question here. From Joshua off of YouTube. And let me see what I want to put up here. Y'all see, y'all know I have my banners here, so I'm gonna be using those. I paid some bread for that. All right, so Joshua says, how does the agent get paid if I let the listing agent represent me as a buyer? Well, they get paid on both sides from you and the you on your side of it as the buyer and their side of it from the side of their client, the seller. So they would get paid if it's 6%, then they would get paid the full 6% minus what they have to pay their broker instead of having to split that 6% with another agent because you brought them to the table. You allow the greed of humans to work into your favor. Now, some of them won't even get that, right? That, hey, I'm actually, if I sold a house at 6%, some of this might not make sense to you guys, but you can just research commissions and agents and how they get paid. But normally they get paid 5-6%. It's all negotiable or whatever. But it's rare that an agent will list a property and find a buyer for it also. Meaning they have the seller and the buyer and they can recoup their entire 100%. They would depend on other agents to bring buyers to the table in a lot of cases. So they have to split that commission. So they go from 6% down to 3% if that was the listing agreement percentages for his commission. So on 100,000, hopefully I'm doing this in my head now. So if I get too bundled up here, just let me know. But on $100,000 property, if that's the sales price, normally they would get paid. The fee would be 6,000 split, so that would be 3,000. Minus whatever they have to pay their broker, so 3,000. All right, so you make an offer of 60,000. So you would now take that 6% and times that times 60,000. That's 3,600, right? That's more than they would have made if another agent was brought in at $100,000. I hope this is making sense and is being clear to you. So what you're trying to do is get them on your side to convince the seller to accept that $60,000. Because for the agent, they're going to make more money than if they would have sold it for $100,000 if another agent was involved. Now, some of them would get, well, the guy just goes back to one of my favorite sayings. I need a t-shirt for that. Most won't, but enough will. Some of them won't just automatically get it, and some of them will. Oh, yeah. So, but now that doesn't ensure that you're going to get a deal, but don't ever think that agents don't have an influence on pricing with sellers. It's one thing for an agent to go back to a seller and say, "Hey, they lowballed us. They offer 60,000. I'm legally binded to let you know this, but we can do better than that." Okay, so the seller will be like, "Yeah, you're right. We'll wait." Or if they go back to the seller and say, "Hey, they offer $60,000. I don't think we can do better than that. I recommend that we take this deal." Now the seller may still say, "No, I want to wait. I'm not, in rush to sell. I'm try to get the price." But they be like, "Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Let's go ahead and do it." Does it just that just to how they go back to them as far as their influence on the deal could be money in your pocket. Now, dealing with an agent is a totally different ball game, but I'm just answering his question. I don't recommend it for newbies because there are other stuff that has to go into dealing with them. But I'm just talking about to give yourself the best chance of getting a low ball offer all accepted is that don't bring your own agent to the table. Just go directly to the listing agent, give them an opportunity to represent the buyer and the seller side so they can get 100% of the commission. You're just trying to get the greed of humans to work in your favor. That's it. So hopefully I answered your question, Joshua. All right. And so let's see what else we got here before I move on to that one. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. All right. So that was Joshua. Let me go back up a little. All right. This is a good question here, which all of them are good questions. CL Smith says, Flipman, can you still get success with wholesaling or have success with wholesaling in the winter time? Also, should I still put up banner signs in the winter or use another marketing strategy in the winter? Well, CL Smith, yes, you can still wholesale successfully in the wintertime. Now, the daylight hours are shorter, which can be imposing on your time as far as viewing properties and things like that. But transactions are still happening for sure. Now, as far as, and then, your winters are different in different parts of the country too. But the way I always look at it is that if you're living in Minnesota, you're used to that type of weather. So nothing stops. I don't know, you Minnesotians, is that the way to say it? You advise me what stops. That's what y'all do. You've chosen to live there, whatever the situation is. I'm sure business doesn't stop just because there's 6 feet of snow on the ground or whatever. You all use the snow plows and make it happen. So people that live in those markets, I just can only assume that you're used to it. Just like it gets hot as Hades here in the summertime. I know the heat in the winter can be different, but it doesn't stop anything by no means. Maybe that's a laughable statement that I'm making about heat versus cold, but I'm just saying, that's what people are used to is the point I'm making. Now, as far as banner signs, the same thing, that's what people are used to. So putting signs out, yeah, most definitely. Now I probably would mix in more maybe direct mail or cold calling because people may do get out less than they do in the winter. Again, you people that live in those type of markets, you would have to educate me on that because I don't know. I've never lived anywhere like that. And it's really not a consideration unless I'm going to make a considerable amount of more money than I'm making now, which is just okay. So, but anyway, I had to make a hell of a lot more money while I'm making out to move some of them places. But not that Birmingham, Alabama is just that great, but I'm just talking about the weather, just period, or whatever. So, but again, you're gonna have to answer some of those questions for me, but I will assume it's just business as usual. But just like here, the daylight hours are shorter. It's just gonna limit you on some of the stuff that you can do, with less daylight hours or whatever. So, Let's see if we can find another one here. All right, put my contract video. Now let's do this one. All right. All right, I may have to go let Adrian, guys. Just give me just a moment here. Um, let's do this. Well, I'll just step away. I'll be right back, guys. Oh, we're back. Did anyone leave? You guys stayed in there. Good, 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 good. Okay, got her in, so this will go a little bit more smoother. Okay, so um, we'll throw this question up since I'm right here. Anthony Urbina, what's your opinion on using virtual assistants to cold call? Yeah, it could be good. You just have to, there's a lot of virtual assistants on sites like Fiverr, Fiverr.com that that are trained because they've been doing it a while. A lot of different investors around the country have used them or whatever. So yeah, it can be useful. You just have to train them to fit your goals. Okay, so let me get this. All right. Let me see here. What I want to do. Okay. Brand. So what we got? Who we got? All right. So uh somebody said this. Judith Squire Utley says, you're so down to earth. I chuckled when you left and got us here tapping our feet waiting. Jude, I really appreciate you waiting.
Sorry, Judy.
Yeah, we're good. Well, yeah. We know. I'm just here to help, guys. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is not um, a real production. You know, I try to, add some stuff or whatever to make it look a lot more professional or whatever. But y'all know what it is. You're not dealing with an Einstein here. You know what it is. Yeah, StreamYard should just automatically pop up. Yeah. So and then yeah, that one right there. Yeah. So anyway, so what we got? What Adria about to join here in a second, so she'll take it over. Just make sure you choose the right mic. You have to go in there and okay, choose. You don't need a video, so now go to the audio to the left. Yeah, and then it should be the USB one. Okay, it's a USB.
Mm-mm.
You don't see it?
Mm-mm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, move that. Um,
Go.
it does. Okay, we're trying to get her. I'll make sure her audio is right. Um,
Okay, I think they can hear me.
um,
Because I can hear myself. Mm-hmm.
you sure?
Yes. Beautiful Me Hair Studios, can you hear me? And if they can't, they can hear yours.
No, we ain't paid too much money for this not to be working. Go back to hold on, guys. Yeah, hit audio. Go. Hit the why is it ain't testing? Okay, I know they can hear me.
Yes, she said yes, they can hear me.
Okay.
Yeah, so leave it where it is, default.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So y'all can hear Adria as clear as you can hear me.
Yes. Say yes, y'all. Say yes. Audio is great.
Okay. All right.
I
Well.
can hear you clear. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you ask Chris Ortiz's question?
Oh yeah, it's supposed to do that. My bad. What am I thinking? I'm brain freezing. Yeah, she good. Okay.
Robert
Yeah.
Devereaux said he
Yeah. Go
yes,
ahead. Go
yes.
ahead. Yeah. Go. Yeah. Y'all see. I don't know what I'm thinking about. She's hooked up to a different deal than mine. Okay. Well, the same deal than mine, not to her laptop. Okay, we good.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Did you ask Chris Ortiz question
No.
about the 11-unit building?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, Chris Ortiz said 11-unit building having a 2 bedrooms each from a tired landlord in a D area, dealing directly with owner as well. So maybe that was in response to something that you already had said it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, what is that again? 11-unit building dealing with
what do you recommend with that?
Dealing 11-unit building with each 2 bedroom from tired landlord in the D area. What do you recommend dealing directly with the owner as well? Yeah, you always want to deal with the owner if that's an option. And I would try to see how tired he is and see if he's interested. Number one, is a cheap, very cheap price. If not, if you don't think the numbers are that cheap, then you can do some owner financing on it also. So that's what I would recommend.
All right. So this question is from Donna Rousey, and I don't think I've ever seen this one. How do you deal with getting your contract signed if one of the homeowners is incarcerated?
I've done that before.
How?
I was fortunate enough. I got a notary to go into the jail with the paperwork, and they got it signed. Now, I was fortunate. This is when I was still working at. I had a job working at Bell South, now AT&T. And I sent out an email, and I was going to pay $100 to anyone that knew someone that was a traveling notary. And this one lady that I was pretty good friends with, she said, "No, my sister, a notary, blah blah." But a lot of people responded because they wanted that money. I think I offered more than I offered $200, and 100 of it was there. And so anyway, but because I chose her, she actually worked for the sheriff's department. or the district attorney's office, one of those. And so all she had to do was flash her badge, and they just let her back there. Now another notary wouldn't have just been able to do that, and she went back there. It was the lady daughter, Miss Burrell. Her daughter, she didn't know how she was ended up on the D, but she was in the county jail, and so but we needed her signature because she was one of the owners, and so she didn't even know why she was better. She just signed it or whatever. So boom, we did it. So that's how it's going to have to happen, something of that nature.
No, Nicholas Rivera. Ty did not have to. T said Ty forgot to place his football bet. That's why he had to walk off. No,
That's what I'm doing right now.
They didn't ask you that. They was talking about when you left. You was
I
coming
know.
back
No, I do
in.
that right online, Playboy.
Yeah, we need some WD-40 on that though. I am aware. Okay, so let's see here. On Instagram, DJD Money ATL wants to know, how do you verify the numbers a seller and PropStream tell you? Like if PropStream says they are in pre-foreclosure and I have a tax lien, but the seller says they are free and clear, how do I find out? So who we going with, PropStream or the seller, or
Put the question up there.
it's on Instagram.
Oh, it's on Instagram. You say that again now?
How do you verify the numbers a seller versus PropStream tells you? PropStream says that they're in pre-foreclosure, and they say they're in free and clear. That's a big difference.
Well, that's going to come out in the title work. It's that simple. It's going to come out in the title work. It's that simple. So you'll know who's telling what, because it's going to come out in the title work.
Okay. Sticking with Instagram quickly, Ace35123 wants to know, are they trying to ban wholesaling in all states? And if they do, are you going to get your broker's license?
I don't know if they ban all states, just like we don't have marijuana in all states. You know what I'm saying? It just don't work like that for stuff. Just that. But even if they did, you can partner with someone with a license. At the end of the day, it just needs the agentness to be involved in a transaction.
Okay. Let's see here. James Lett says, how well can I do without using bandit signs? Some of the places I would target definitely would not allow them.
Oh, you can do very well. You can do cold calling. You can target any area you want to. It just is a more tedious process, but it can be very inexpensive, but it can be very time consuming, but very much so being worth it or whatever. You could do direct mail. That allows you to target anywhere. You could do Google AdWords, Facebook ads. Those are some pricey ways of doing it, but it could be justified as far as the end result for you. So, but most definitely.
Okay. This is from, it just says Facebook user wants to know, I don't know if you've answered this or not, what is the best time to wholesale? Like what time of the year is there?
I don't know if it's a best time, but as I was speaking a moment ago, someone was asking about, can you wholesale in the winter? Can you put bandit signs out in the winter? It's really not a best time now. In the spring times, and from the spring until the end of the summer, it's just going to be a lot more transactions going on, period. That's when people normally tend to move because of school zones and things of that nature. So it may just be a lot more activity at the end of the day. The other thing will be there's just more daylight hours, because even if you have a 9 to 5, you get off at 5 o'clock, you still may have 3 hours of daylight. You can get a lot of stuff done, so that just factors in just simple nature. Just more daylight hours, so.
Okay. Now, this is from Amy from Facebook, but this ties into the time of year again. But are people less motivated during income tax time? People go change in their pocket.
Who's less motivated, like sellers?
Maybe the sellers.
Both.
Tell me both. The seller or the buyer?
Well, buyers are normally that's not how the game works for them. They paying out taxes.
Okay.
Or whatever. It's just normal business for it. But sellers, I guess, if people generally just, have more money or whatever, they tend not to be as motivated to do things. Sometimes money is not the motivation or whatever. A lot of cases it is. So yeah, I guess you could say that, or whatever. I couldn't dispute that.
Okay. Let's see here. Joshua Bush states, I have a on market property under contract and a buyer. Do I have the buyer sign a purchasing agreement and turn it in all the same as an off market deal? So when he means on market, does that mean, I don't know, does that mean necessarily that he's dealing with the realtor or no?
Um, I'm not sure what he means. I have an on mark. Yeah, that's mean a realtor. On the crack in the buyer. Do I have a buyer sign a purchase order? Will turn in same as off market deal. Yeah, it still will work the same. If you have a buyer ready to go, it still will work the same for sure.
Okay. Um, J Miles, and this is from Facebook. I got a lead off my bandit signs. The seller is motivated, but it was left to her and her brother. So we're talking about air property here. She is having a hard time convincing him to sign the agreement. Any advice?
Wow. You just have to just stay at that one or whatever. Once you get those siblings involved, you just have to just stay at it. It's really just that simple. Um, you just have to just stay on them.
Okay, let's see here. This one, let's see if you know the answer to this. I most definitely don't. I'm familiar with land bank, but Roderick Jackson wants to know, can you make money with or off of properties that are under the control of the land bank in Birmingham, Alabama?
Yeah. I had a deal recently that the guy went with someone else, and that's where he purchased it from the land bank or whatever. I offered something lower, someone was willing to pay more, so I would have been able to wholesale that property with ease or whatever. But the seller went with someone else. I've had other people call me with property that they got from the land bank. I've never done a deal on it at this point, but yeah, most definitely. As long as it needs a clear title and a great deal.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, just because I don't know, does, because it's called land bank, does it necessarily mean that it's just land?
No. It just means it's just a bank of properties.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, it's just a bank.
Okay.
Which it could be lots also, but it means just a bank of properties, a list of properties that the city has made available to sell to the general public that they've
Mm,
acquired through whatever means. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now I don't know. I'm trying to go back. I don't know where, whose questions you asked, so I apologize in the beginning.
If you ask, I'll let you know.
Did you answer Cheryl Burton's question about the polls? And
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
okay, so she says, "Good evening, Mr. Ty. I found several houses that seem to be potential deals, but until 3 to 5 years ago, they seem to have sold for wholesale prices. Should I reach out for a contract? So could a buyer have bought them and they're just holding them? Or do you still go after those? Or maybe somebody bought it and their
She
conditions changed."
she said what happened with it now?
She found several houses that seem to be potential deals, but until 3 to 5 years ago, they seem to have sold for wholesale prices. So she wants to know, does she still reach out to them?
Yeah, you never know what someone's situation has changed where, that's just life, man. Divorce, death, um, medical situations, loss of income, too many repairs, back taxes, relocation. All of those you don't know. Just everyday life creates motivated sellers. Your job is to make sure you're doing an effective job of letting them know you exist. That's it.
Okay. Mari Stafford, and this question appears to come from YouTube, says, "Hi, sir. I have a contract on a property which is now with the title company, but my problem is the buyer is backing out for the second time. And I don't want to sign the release only because they want their EMD and they will not sign the release." So, what we got going on here?
Oh no, you don't. You don't want to fool with them. You know, no.
So, what's the process considering that the property is already, I guess they have the contracts in, is at the title company?
Do you have a buyer ready to go? If you got a buyer ready to go, then I don't see why they wouldn't go ahead and close on it. But if you don't have a buyer ready to go, then if it expires, you give them the earnest money and you move on. So
Okay. We're gonna go to Instagram from 32 Apprentice.
better
And
hurry. I say you better hurry.
oh, okay. Question not for Ty. Oh, never mind. It's not for you. It was for anyone else that's on Instagram that's in the Atlanta area. He wanted to know, is everyone in the Atlanta REIA primary focus, is their primary focus to constantly upsell their programs? Could be. I don't know.
Could be.
We don't. Okay. So next question from Instagram. What do you think are the top 5 must-have apps or websites to use for wholesaling? I got one. Duelulator.com. That is Duelulator.com. DEALULATOR.
On the screen.
Duelulator.com. That's in the top 5 must-have websites for your wholesaling career.
Just go to the 1 hour and 1 minute and 1 minute of this particular video, but DALULATOR. But anyway, Dealulator. It's a tool which I just showed an example. If you're on Instagram, you may not have saw it, of how to use the bill list or whatever, and Instagram just went off. But Dealulator, Vumber, Vumber.com. That's V instead of number with an N, V is in Victor. Mail to Flip. If you're gonna do direct mail, you get over there to my guys there to help you with that. Just stand out from your direct mail. I think I put all this stuff on some of this on the screen. What I got? So we got Digulator, Vumber, Mail to Flip. I suggest some type of CRM system to track your stuff. But if you don't have the funds to pay something monthly, then just as simple as Google Sheets, using just some Excel spreadsheets to be able to keep up with everything and try to create some type of organization. And I had a list of those before. Let me see. Landglide, which is more of an app. He said websites and apps.
Apps and websites.
Okay, Landglide is a really good tool to use to be able to identify properties and owners and figuring out addresses or whatever. I think is inexpensive for how useful it can be to help you do deals. Mojo Dialer, mojosales.com. If you're going to do cold calling, it can be a very beneficial tool. Also, I use, let me see, trying to just think, because I was going to do a video on this stuff and I hadn't built the list because I use it so much I don't even think about it a lot of times. Obviously Google.
Google is
and
your
Google
friend.
and Google Maps. I use that a lot. I'm sure a lot of you all do too, because you can see how neighborhoods and houses may have looked at some point or whatever. Not always accurate, because sometimes depending on how old the Google image is there.
And no, Tawanda, Grandma Honey, I like that name. Mail to Flip is not the same as Duelulator.com. Mail to Flip is a service that allows you to send postcards out to potential sellers that has a photo of their property on the postcard. Most of the mail, junk mail included, gets sorted over the trash can. This is just an opportunity to have your mail get seen and not end up in the trash, but end up on the counter. So they'll see it. Now, Duelulator, aka PropStream, is a website that allows you to build lists, search property information, look up comps, all of that. It's just I think a must-have for your wholesaling. So 2 totally different things, but mailtoflip.com and then Duelulator. And the way you got to spell that ain't it. It's on the screen though. It's like a calculator with deal. DEALULATOR. Duelulator is a monthly subscription service, but it does have a 5-day free trial on that. So you have an opportunity to see if it's something that you want to add to your tool chest.
you want to make sure you watch all the videos that I have on it before you dive into it. Because the worst thing you could do is get in there and don't know how to use it. But I think I've put enough videos out there so you can be dangerous and see how useful it can be. Now they did just go through a recent update, so some of the layout of the site may be a little different than what you see in my videos. But I'm gonna do an updated video here in the next week or so to show you some of the updates. So
Okay. Yes, PropStream does allow postcards as well.
but you really, that's for like when you're just doing just singles,
Singles.
small quantities or whatever. So
Yes. Tabina has a very good question. I'm going to post it. Does anyone know the name of the woman talking? Yes, that's me. That's Adria. I'm Adria. Hi, Tabina. Yes, I'm late. I was very, 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 very late. So I had to pause and come let me in. But yes, it's me. Let's see here.
That was a good question.
That's a very good question.
Oh boy.
Let's see here. Positive motivation. And it seems that this is a question that came from YouTube. Says my grandma passed away and left her house to her 3 kids. My dad passed away, so his 3 kids have part rights. The house is currently at 90. She will take 25. I want 40. How how can I hide this from her? Who are you hiding it from?
Just hide it from who?
Hide it from who? My grandma passed away and left her house to her 3 kids. My dad passed away, so his 3 kids. So now that's 5 interest parties who have interest in it. And the house is currently at 90. She will take 25. I want 40. Okay, so
See, that your problem is right there. So she one of the 5.
I guess one of the 5.
Yeah, you got to all 4. What are the other 4 saying?
Yeah. Oh, she's saying the aunt. The aunt, the one of the actual grandma's kids. So that still leaves 4 other people that you just gonna cut out.
Yeah, it don't work that way, baby girl.
Ooh, you got a lot of people that's gonna have to agree to that. Touch and agree. Touch and agree. Touch and agree. Let's see here. Dwayne said with your chest, Burgess from Facebook says, for wholesaling, how do you execute the purchase agreement to ensure your interest?
I'm not sure what it means, execute.
I guess like what's within the purchase agreement that protects your interest in the deal.
He has to be a little bit more clear on that. I'm not sure. That's the whole purpose of the agreement, is to protect your interest and within the deal what you and the seller have agreed upon. That's the whole purpose of it.
Back to positive motivation. You had the 5 people in the air properties. I'm not sure. They state we all gave her rights to make decisions, so she doesn't care about anybody because she is the only one handling taxes. So obviously, this one aunt is making all the decisions on the property, so she deserves to get the bulk of it. And so I guess the other
Don't
4 are
worry
gonna
like
split
that.
the 40.
Don't worry like that.
Yeah, because all it takes is one person saying, "Yeah, you've been handling," but it's still just as mine as
people
yours.
don't care, man. You'll have one person that's been paying the taxes, maintaining the property on there, and some of them other jokers ain't did nothing, and they want money. You know what I'm saying? Just you're gonna always have that, man. That's why you got to handle your business and
Make sure
get that
everything
will in place.
Yeah.
And most parents know which kid
is
is
responsible
the
or
one
not.
gonna do right. Now sometimes that's not an option or whatever. So every situation is dynamic, is different, but hey, ooh.
It could get messy. Okay, Rajon Rouse wants to know for newbie wholesalers. She needs to know the type of house I'm looking for when driving for dollars. What is my best bet? Trying to land her first deal. So,
Okay. Well, obviously vacants. That's going to stand out like a sore thumb. You can also target for sale by owners. That makes it simple in the sense that they want to sell. Now they may not want to sell at the price that works for you, but they want to sell. All right, so that's 2. And then properties that are for rent. Now, generally speaking, I recommend targeting signs, rent signs that may just be just generic red and white or black and white signs that they may have bought from Home Depot, Lowe's, or Walmart or somewhere like that. And you reach out to those landlords and see if they'd be interested in selling. And how that conversation would go is, hey, I'm calling about your property at 123 Main Street. Is it still available? Whether they say yes or no, you ask them, well, I'm not interested in renting the property. Would you be interested in selling it? If they say yes, you proceed on, gather the information as needed. Hope you can work a deal that numbers work. If they say no, you ask them, hey, do you have anything else you're interested in selling? If they still say no, then just thank them for the time. Let them know if anything changes to call you back. But that's what you should be looking for when you're driving for dollars. D4D.
D for D. Okay, Dwayne came back and he fixed his question, but I still don't think he is correct in what he's saying. So I'm gonna let you figure this out. So it says the end buyer's purchase agreement is between the end buyer and the seller. What protects my interest? How does he execute the contract? But that's not how it is. You're not going to put your end buyer with your seller. Your end buyer is with you, and you are with the seller. So A to B, B to C. The seller is A, you're B, the buyer C. So seller with you is one contract. You and the end buyer is one contract. The seller and the buyer should never be put together. If that's the case, what's the point of view? So that's how you protect your interest.
They
you
should
keep
never
them
be
separated.
Yeah, they should never be put together as far as the agreement. Well, I say never in most cases. Sometimes they may have situations like that, but in most cases, you don't.
So Dwayne, I hope that makes sense. Those two should never blend at all. That's how you protect your interest. Keep them separated. Let's see here. Oh, y'all like talking about these, and they ain't no good. Big D says if someone is granted a quit claim deed, probate court isn't needed, and I can wholesale straight with them, the quit claim person whose name is on the deed and the buyer, right?
Well, if you have a buyer that will operate under those terms, then roll with it. The problem is just most buyers are not going to operate under those terms as far as a quit claim deed. They're just not. But again, if you have somebody that's going to roll with it, then yeah, you definitely can proceed. Proceed on.
Okay. Hi, Kimberly. You say it's your first time joining us and you're enjoying the show. Thank you for joining us. If you're not aware, we're here every Thursday, barring something happens or, life or holidays. And that's 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you so happen to miss your show, just know that you can always come back and watch the shows after we're done because they are loaded up, and you can most definitely continue to ask questions. And as Montreal P from YouTube says, if you enjoy the content, hit the like for your guy. We're talking about Ty the guy. Hit the like button, guys.
Yeah.
Now.
And the subscribe button also.
And the subscribe button.
Turn on the notifications.
Mm-hmm.
So
you can get a ding.
Mm-hmm. When we go live and when we upload
new content.
Yeah.
So, and you're pretty consistent in uploading this content. It's going up. Ooh, it's ding, 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 ding. There go Ty again. There's Ty.
Mm-hmm. Do it? I don't really.
You do at least one a day.
No.
Yes, the dude from $18,000. When was he? Yesterday.
Mm-hmm. What are you talking about?
Not on YouTube. I'm talking about
Oh, the emails.
Yeah, on my Instagram feed.
I don't.
Well, maybe mine's delayed because I see your face in my feed all the time.
I don't
yes, well, maybe you just, they keep pushing me towards your services.
Well, maybe so.
I guess that's a good thing.
Nothing in over a week.
You just popped up. I'm going to show you. Okay, Cease Montana has a question. I'm assuming you're a guy. We're going to go with that. Says, I have an opportunity to purchase vacant land. It's a quarter acre, little over a quarter, but it's next to the house that he already sold. Would you buy it? I mean, a quarter acre, that ain't a lot.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
Yeah. And to be beside a house that somebody else already.
Well, yeah, I don't. He said, would he actually buy it?
He asked you, would you buy it?
No, I won't buy it. No,
Would you try to even wholesale it?
Well, let me put it like this. It would have to be in an area where it's a very hot area, a lot of probably higher end, a lot of construction. I mean, renovations going on. New construction would be ideal, but other than that, it was just a lot. Just in some normal neighborhood or whatever. No, there's tons of those out there. No, no.
Okay. Um, Kamisha, I'm going to assume that you're talking about deal you later. You might be using voice to text. What do you later? Can you have one account and use multiple devices? So I'm thinking with deal you later, can you have one account and use multiple devices? So as long as
Well,
you
well, yeah, you can. If Adria, if I gave her my login, she can be logged in on the laptop next, on mine and hers, and or whatever. They don't restrict you in that way. The only thing is right now, which they're working on it. Is best used on a laptop or a desktop, on a tablet or a smartphone. It's not as user friendly, but but again, they're working on it. They're trying to make it responsive is the correct term to describe that when a website is responsive and it caters or fits whatever device it's being used. It's called responsive. You do that?
Yep. I'm not gonna say no. I know everything. I'm Google. Okay. So Chris Monroe STL says, Flipman, how do you deal with a seller who does not want to let you show the property?
I know you do, man. You know what I'm saying? It's I got a couple on the contract right now where they wouldn't give me the keys, which is fine or whatever. But you just have to meet them out there with the buyer each time. You know what I'm saying? You do, unless it's just a buyer that you've done, a lot of deals with and you trust, and you don't have to actually go out there, he's not gonna go behind your back. But other than that, you just have to meet them out there if they won't give you a key.
Okay.
Now, let me back up. He said they won't let you show the property.
Right.
Okay, that's different. If they don't want let you show you the property, you don't have a deal.
Who wants to buy something that they've never seen?
Yeah, you don't have a deal. So then they're not motivated enough. You have to just be firm with them. At the end of the day, I got to get I got to get my money partners in here. Those are buyers, and then some of them will be contractors. If they can't allow you to do that, now I don't know what conversation you had. You told them you were going to find them a buyer. That's a different conversation. You know what I'm saying? They probably don't want to deal on that level, but you have to just be stern again. If they're either going to do it your way or the highway.
Okay. Kamisha, I see you corrected your question. Yeah, we figured it out. Hopefully, you got to hear the answer that Deal You Later subscription can be used on multiple devices. So, Shay Greer, um, for all the ladies out there and guys too, says, I'm in Moreno Valley, California, and I am a woman. So, I am a little afraid of entering someone's home by myself. Any suggestions? Take somebody with you?
Yeah, you just have to take someone with you, Shay. You've been a woman all your life, so you know how to operate. Just take someone with you, baby girl. It's really just that simple. Just take someone with
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Shine Bright. When you get a house under contract, what is the best way to market the house to get buyers? Is there a video on it?
There's tons of them, but
Tons of them.
I'll just give you several ways to do it. You can you definitely want to take advantage of the free stuff like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, with posting your stuff online in Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups. You want to do that. You also want to put signs out in the area, house for sale, 38,000 cash, phone number. You only need about 20 of those or so in the general area where the house is located. You want to deal with with bird dogs, with other wholesalers. You may have been fortunate enough to run into a real estate agent that's really investor friendly, has a lot of investor clients. You want to take advantage of your local RIA groups, Real Estate Investment Association groups. Also attend those. Um, so all the above. The best way to build a buyer's list though is having great deals consistently, and you can just do one form of marketing, and you'll build a list quickly. So starts with just having great deals, and then just marketing your butt off the opportunity.
Okay. Earlier, we were talking about D for D, which was driving for dollars, but Chris Graphics has the second half of that. He says, I'm new and I have built a FISBO list from D for D. Should I just call and report? I'm sorry. Should I just call and build rapport to see how much they want first, then run comps to see how much it's worth before I do a ARV? So you got your list. What do you do with it?
You can go ahead and do your research on them and have ARVs already ready. And you can have that conversation initially about price and having you'll be comfortable. You can be comfortable with knowing what price to offer or accept. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, whether you have the comps and stuff or ARVs done already, you got to start reaching out to them either by direct mail and or phone to create the activity.
Okay. So, in addition to that, Jennifer wants to know, hey, Flipman, why do sellers ask me what's my price when you haven't did any comps yet? So, I guess this is why you're saying you might want to go ahead and do your research before you call, because they could ask, hey, what you going to offer?
Well, yeah, you could say that. Now, just let them know that if you just cold calling, because you may have a list of 1,000 people, you're not going to sit there and do ARVs on all of them or whatever. So, what you'll let them know, hey, I'm contacting a lot of people in this market about selling. You can just laugh it off, say it's just so hard to get people to sell. So once I find out I know someone wants to sell, you give me about 30 minutes, I can call you back with an offer. I just need to do the due diligence on it. So, or you can say 15 minutes or whatever. So, just make light of it. That, hey, I'm just trying to find a deal. It first starts with just knowing someone wants to sell, and then we can get to the price. A lot of times they say the money part of it is the easy part, is what you can say to them or whatever, but in a jokingly manner, just try to break the ice or whatever. You can just call them back and just let them know at that point.
Ty, Aaron wants to know how you feeling tonight.
Oh, I'm good. I'm super tired. I also sleep. Was that 2 weeks ago? No, because it wasn't last Thursday. It was 2 weeks ago. Ooh, were you here? You weren't here. Was you here last week?
I was here.
Yeah.
I was here the week before Thanksgiving.
Oh, I was so sleep on. No, you know what? That was on that was on something else. Oh, I was. Ooh.
He just says, Ty, hope all is well. You don't sound energetic tonight.
Oh, okay.
Y'all ain't asking the right questions. Ask the right questions.
Yeah,
ask
so.
it. Ask it.
I was stressed out the first 50 minutes of this because
What?
I was doing it by myself. So
wow.
Yeah.
But this new system that you have here streamlines it so awesomely. It should have. It was.
Well, yeah, it makes it a lot easier. But I'm
Yeah.
still trying to put up banners and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I got you. I
know what
got you. I'm
So,
just saying you was doing good. I was seeing you.
okay, okay.
Arcane Market of Business wants to know, how do I go about a JV deal if we are both in different states? Well, if both y'all are different states, who in the state where the deal is what I want to know.
It's still just going to boil down to the paperwork and what side of the JV deal are you on? Are you on the seller side or the buyer side? If you're on the seller side of it, then you're still going to have somebody on the ground to represent your interest. And if you're on the buyer side of the same thing or whatever. So just the paperwork, email is a powerful tool.
Topher, are you using the program OBS to stream this?
Nope. We're using StreamYard.com. StreamYard.com. It is awesome. I've used a lot of different services to try to put these things on for you guys. And by far, you can.
Don't say it no more. We ain't plugging them.
Yeah, you can see. No, I ain't gonna plug no. And so this is by far the best. It allows me to put up my funky graphics that I've put together. You like these?
I do like them. They're so nice. Yeah. They're like your banners, like pop up. You like wholesaling real estate with the Flipman. Join us on Instagram and Twitter at Ask Flipman.
Yeah.
The 1-page contract. That mail to Flip. Look at that. And I'm talking with my hands. I'm so glad they can't see me.
Yeah, this is awesome, man. This is freaking awesome.
Adayas Turner says, I keep skipping his question, but we keep talking about Deal You Later. Don't put prop stream, put Deal You Later. Okay, but does Deal You Later give out the current address and their phone number? So Deal You Later is only as good as...
Yeah, it's going to provide. If it don't do nothing else, it's going to give their address and the information on the owner. It's going to do that. Now, it does have a skip tracing option in there, so that just pins. So,
Shaq Smith, what's up? He's from the D side. No, D town, West side. Yes, see, I messed it up. I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for joining us, one of our faithful subscribers. And to each and every one of you, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate you hanging on. It's 7:30, so we've actually overextended to make up for, the shoddy first 50 minutes. I'm trying to recoup and bring you back.
Yeah, for me, somebody has when I came back, so you're so down there, you just don't actually walked away.
Yes.
And we're here tapping our toes, waiting. Judy, I think her name was Judy.
Yes, she did. I saw that.
Yeah, that was
funny. So from Jamisha Roundtree, do you know anything about surplus or overage funds? I don't know what that means.
No, I'm not from. I've heard of it. I'm not sure how that actually works. So I'm gonna have to pass on that. What was her name,
Jamisha.
I'm gonna have to refer you to Google, baby girl, on that one.
All right. Now, Tavia Wilson wants to know, how can I... Oh, this sounds fancy. How can I start a collective initiative for commercial real estate investing? Oh, that sounds like a nice little portfolio. What do you do?
A collective initiative.
A collective initiative.
All right, Google.
Oh, yeah, we're going to Google that. A portfolio. She's going to have, I guess, a portfolio maybe.
Initiative for, I'm not sure.
I don't know. She's going to start collecting
a collective initiative.
Yeah.
I guess you mean start. How can I start a collective initiative? Hey, Jamila, you just go out and break that down for me, baby girl. I'm not sure what you mean now. That's above. I think I know what you mean, but I want to make sure. Hopefully, you can post it before we get out of here. So.
Okay. Google says collective initiative means approach achieves progress on a large scale. So she wants to do commercial real estate on a large scale.
Oh, well, the first thing you just got to start, baby girl. It's just really just that simple. Just starting. Just starting. And from there, you're going to be able to make your own decisions from the deals that you do on how much you can do or whatever. So just start generating some money, accumulate some properties if that's your goal. So obviously start with education or whatever. So.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to address Ventravis, and I think there's another user. I'll find it in just a second. Y'all are asking her, is it a deal questions, which I absolutely love the deal or no deal questions, but you're not giving enough information. So you tell her what's missing, and we'll try to get back. She has ARV is $299,000. They want $220,000. Needs new roof, paint, carpet, and central AC heat. What do you think? What's missing?
Well, I can just tell off the top. Let me see if I got D later. Just off the top. Let me pull the calculator up here.
See, another awesome feature that you can access without even subscribing to the Deal You Later service is just to go to dealyoulater.com, and on that very front page is the Deal You Later calculator. Helps you determine whether your deal is in fact a deal. You plug and chug your numbers, and there you go.
So she said
$299.
Oh, let me remove that. She said $299.
And they want $220.
$299. $299.
Yes.
Even if I did 1,000 in repairs, right?
Right.
Okay, we're at 208.
That's just 1,000, but you're talking about central AC heat and air. Oh, that's 8 minimum.
So if we leave that 35 in there, we just assume. So, boom. I hope she can see that. So you said $299 repairs, so that's times 70%. Your minus 35 in repair. We're just throwing that number in there just for the sake of it. But even if I did 1,000 in repairs, we know it's going to be more than that. You're at 208 because she said she had it.
They want 220.
They want 220. So it's just no deal, just period. So once you throw 35,000 in there, now you're at 174.3. So you're almost 50 grand off on where you need to be. And that hasn't even included your fee yet. So it's no deal.
No deal. No deal, no deal with no information. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Someone else wanted to know. Lord, y'all asking a lot of questions. Look at y'all. The next deal, it was some numbers. I don't remember who posted them. I'm trying to scroll up, guys. Oh, seller wants same thing. Seller wants 55,000 for a property that is not even livable.
Mm.
The ARV is 75.
Okay, so we're putting 75 in here.
Yes, and this is from Shine Bright, and they want to know what would be the price you would offer.
If it's not even livable, 75,000. I don't know what the square footage of the property is. That's going to factor in a lot on what it's going to cost to rehab. But it sounds like you've got to get that 15,000 or less. You know what I'm saying? So, if you gave me the square footage, I could probably give you an idea on it. So,
so
hopefully you can see these numbers here on the screen, guys. Hey, you might have to take the question down. Yeah, okay.
I just put it up so it will match with the numbers.
Well, so
It wasn't up there the whole time. It was not. Okay, so there you have Topher Peterson Jr. So let's talk about this, guys. So if you're just not starting out, and know we drill this if you're not new, and if you are new, 300, probably 80 plus 390, 400. You top 400?
It's 400, but it's probably 325 of those are reals. You know what I'm saying? We'll just say over 300 of them. Real.
I like 370.
That sounds good.
Okay, over 370.
It's over 400 there, but just what I just saying, real value video is definitely over 300.
Okay.
Definitely.
Over 370 plus videos available for your perusing on YouTube that helps you get started with wholesaling. Topher wants to know, do you have videos on how to negotiate deals? Are any of those videos about that?
You know what? That's a good question.
Ooh, you might have found one.
Well, yeah, I really talk about it. I talk about it in the when he say negotiate deals. Well, for me, I'm not what you quote unquote a hard negotiator or whatever. I'm just going to ask the question. After I gather all the information, is paying all cash and closing quickly. What's the least amount you'll accept for it as is? And I'm just going to wait on a response. And regardless of what they say, your follow-up should be, is that the best you can do or whatever? You wait on a response or whatever. So now sometimes people won't give you a price, and that's when you offer something that you're ashamed of. All right. Now you're still not expecting them to accept your offer. But if they reject your lowball offer, your follow-up question would be, well, how close can you come to that amount? Now, sometimes they'll accept it. You'll be like, whoa. And I think you have to, you see how it has 100. Well, maybe it's on my side over here. But what I was about to say. So if they reject your offer and your follow-up question, well, how close can you come to that amount? So from that point, if they give you a price that worked, then you proceed on. If they don't give you a price that doesn't work, then you're like, thank them for the time. Let them know if anything changes. Give you a call back.
Okay. Let's see here. And we just talked about this, that calculator that you provided for my subscribers on Dealulator.com. Mike Sykes says, is that calculator only on Dealulator? Is that on PropStream? That is on Dealulator.com.
Mm-hmm.
And that is without even logging in, subscribing to, having a subscription to Dealulator. That's just one of Ty's freebies that he's giving you guys.
Yeah.
It's right on Dealulator.com.
Yeah, and with that being said, let me go over here. You have the calculator that's free here, but Also, people, you can fill out the one-page contract that I talk about so much right there also. Let me remove this there, and I actually have the image up here. Let me see, remove that. All right, and you can fill out the one-page contract, and I get texts all the time. I know people don't, or comments in the sections through YouTube or Instagram, whatever. Can I get a copy of that one-page contract? Guys, I've made it so easy for you. You don't need an actual hard copy in your hand. All you have to do is go here and fill it out. And from once you fill it out, you hit generate. It's going to take you to the next page. You can download it. And then if you just have to, you can put the hard copy in your hand and give it to someone, but it's professionally filled out. And or you can email it like I pretty much always do to the individual, through DocuSign or one of those type services. Just use technology to make this easier for you, but you can fill those out free right here on the site on dealyoulater.com or whatever. You can fill out the actual one-page contract that I give away. That's all you have to do is just go there to do that. So, I'm not sure how much easier I can make it for you than that.
Not at all, other than doing the deal for them.
Well, hey.
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys. So most definitely, I'll say it again. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, so you'll be notified when we are on. You still good?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. You mean it's time to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time to go.
It's time to go, guys. 7:46. We've made up for that first struggle.
It might be the longest show ever.
Nah, I think we've gone longer than this before. Like really? You were feeling really good one day. I was like, God, oh, gosh. Yes. Okay, guys, but we most definitely appreciate you being here. Dealyoulater.com for the one-page contract, for the plug and chug contract that you can email or send out. And subscribe now to the YouTube channel. Tap the bell to turn on notifications so you'll know when the content is uploaded. On Instagram and Twitter, follow at AskFlipMan. Okay, you got to do that. You still got time. 2020 isn't here yet. Decide on whether this is what you're gonna do. You can do it with your 9 to 5, but do it good enough so you can drop that 9 to 5. I ain't seen drop that 9 to 5 in a minute. What has been it?
That's a good talking about the mic thing.
Yeah. Drop your mic on the 9 to 5. But if nothing prevents us, we will be here next week, Thursday, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully next week, the beautiful Miss Renikia will join us as well. But that's all I got. Ty, anything?
No. I really appreciate everyone bearing with me here tonight. But we'll, I guess, see you guys.
Flip Man for President 2020. I'm all with it.
I told him we'll be in some bad trouble.
Ooh, that's okay. But what I get to be?
You'll get to be something. You're right.
Oh, I get a title. I get to be like Omarosa. I get a title, Secretary of State or something.
Omarosa had a short stint,
but she still had a title. It don't matter how long she had the title. She had the title. Like if you were president only for a week, you were still president.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. Thanks, guys. We will see you all on the flip side. Like and subscribe.
All right, guys.
Flip man. It's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.
Okay, does he say bag or cash?